I'm so pleased to be here today. It's amazing what children are doing, and I'm so proud of that. Sorry. Okay, this year our focus has been on many different teachings of Gurudev, but especially our theme was Vruksh Ganga Abhiyan. We felt that the children are the best people to teach the value of environment protection and how, through all the Rishi given strengths, they can adapt in their life and then carry on the message of Gurudev that's going to help the whole world. So one of the things we have done this year is that the children have done many things like yagya. All the children sat together and we explained the meaning of yagya and we did it together. The other thing we did was we planted Tulsi ji, and every single child planted a tree in their backyard. Not just planting it, but taking care of it and really hugging it and saying that you are part of me. We are all together. The other big thing the children did was they pledged to plant 2011 trees in India, and they have collected the money and we are going to present to Shanti Kunj. So going along those themes, we have prepared a play, and the performers are Parth Mehrai, Yuktas Gupta, Hannah Patel, and Mitesh Kaparia. And here's our play called Call of Mahakal.
Once there was a tree, and he loved the little boy. And every day, the boy would come, and he would gather his leaves, and make them into crowns, and play king of the forest. He would climb up his trunk, and swing from his branches. And eat apples. And they would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in his shade. And the boy loved the tree very much.
I love you very much. You are my best friend. You give me food, you give me shade to rest in. Best of all, you love me very much.
And the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older, and the tree was often alone. Then one day, the boy came to the tree, and the tree said,
"Come, my boy. Come and play, and eat my apples, and swing from my branches, climb my trunk, and sit in my shade, and you will be happy."
I'm too old to climb and play. I want some money. Can you give me some money?
I don't have any money, but all I have are apples and leaves. Why don't you do this, boy? Collect my apples, sell them in the city. You'll have some money, and then you'll be happy.
Climbed up the tree and gathered the apples and carried them away. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And when he came back, the tree was so happy he could hardly speak.
Come, my boy. Come climb up my trunk and swing from my branches.
I'm too old. I'm too big to climb a tree. I want a house that'll keep me warm. I want a wife and children. Can you give me a house?
Well, I don't have a house. The forest is my house. But why don't you do this? Why don't you cut my branches and use the wood to build a house of your own? And then you'll be happy.
And so the boy cut off his branches and carried them away to build his house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time. And when he came back, the tree shook with joy. And he said,
Come, boy. Come and play.
I'm too old to play. I want a boat that'll take me far away from this place. Can you give me a boat?
I don't have a boat. But why don't you collect my trunk, and once you have the trunk, you can use it to make a boat of your own.
and so the boy cut down his trunk and made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. After a long time, the boy came back again.
Come, boy. But I don't have anything to give you anymore. All my apples are gone.
My teeth are too weak for apples.
I don't even have my branches where you can swing on them.
I'm too old to swing on branches.
And I don't even have my trunk where you can climb upon.
I'm too tired to climb trees.
Well, I don't know what to give you anymore.
I don't need much now. Just a quiet place to sit and rest.
Well, an old stump is good enough for resting. Why don't you sit? Sit and rest, my boy, and you'll be happy.
And the boy did, and the tree was happy. The tree, or Matesh in this case, represents our Gurudev Pandit Sri Ram Sharmacharya, who sacrificed everything he had for the betterment of the society. Gurudev's message here is that in spite of all the materialism, we don't get happiness. Our entire life we keep craving for money, name, and fame, but happiness still stays away from our lives. Eventually, we all look for peace, and the only path to get peace is to walk on Gurudev's path. Selfless service for the family, society, and the country. Loving each and every individual. Be desireless by following the path he has shown to us, like meditation, yoga, chanting the Gayatri Mantra, and being disciplined. Follow the righteous path, and you will get peace. Otherwise, we all will face the same situation like the little boy. He got a place to sit, but we may not get one. Just like the selfish boy, we have taken everything we needed from him. Today, let's take a minute and answer some of these questions Mahal Kal is asking of us.
So if Mahakal, if Gurudev was here in front of us today, these are some questions that we thought he may ask of us. And so rate yourself from a scale of 1 to 10 on how you would fit with these questions that Gurudev would ask from us. How good of an example are we for our own children or as a member of society? So ask ourselves, how good are we as an example for those that are around us? What are the characteristics of being a good and trustworthy disciple? And are we following them in our life? So how good of a disciple are we? And not to look at anyone else or comparing against anybody else, but just in our own way, how good of a disciple are we? And do we only speak of taking action? Or are we moving forward and taking action and not just getting lost in words? So are we committed to action or are we just speaking about it? How good of a job are we doing on that? The fourth question, are we only asking from our Guru? Only asking and trying to take from our Guru? Or are we also sacrificing and giving our time, our energy, our talents, our money to our Guru and to our mission? What is it that we're doing? Is this the one-way street or is it a two-way street that we are trying to move forward in our direction, in the direction towards our Guru? Are we only pointing out the bad habits of others, yet we are neglecting the bad habits that lie within us? It's very easy to look at the things others do, but not within our own self. And finally, are we taking 100% responsibility of our actions and our circumstances? Or are we blaming our situation on our misfortunes, or are we blaming others for our misfortunes and the situation that we're in? So ask yourself all of these questions and really figure out, what are we doing? It's all within our hands. So Gurudev has a lot of expectations and a lot of wants from us. And the final message is that are we only taking everything from him, and sooner or later Gurudev will be left with nothing, and he won't have anything else to give us. But are we actually giving back, like this tree planting mission that Shanti could just taken on, and the initiative for the all world Gayatri Parivar, giving back to not just Gurudev but also Gurudev's children. And that's the message we'd like to pass on to you for today. Jai Gurudev.
Next up, we have the Bala Sanskar Shala from Atlantic City, New Jersey, and announcing the performance will be Nidhi Jha.
Jai Gurudev. Today the kids are going to do a dance on a song called Hum Gayatri Maa Ke Bete Tumhe Jagane Aaye Hain. The kids have decided to divide into 5 different groups, and they will perform every lesson that the song teaches to you. The students are Vedant Parot, Pooja Patel, Priyal Jha, Nandini Parot, Gino Patel, Pooja S. Patel, Bhavik Patel, Heer Patel. I hope everyone enjoys this.
Jaguri, 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 jaguri. हम गायत्री माँ के बेटे तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं। जाग उठो को वीर सपूतो तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं। तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं, हम तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं। तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं, हम तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं। एक बनेंगे नेक बनेंगे प्यार बढ़ाने आए हैं।
हम प्यार बढ़ाने आए हैं।
नए सृजन के प्रेरक नारे
बढ़ाने हम तुम्हें सुनाने आए हैं।
ईश्वर से साझेदारी का नया निमंत्रण लाए हैं। हम नया निमंत्रण लाए हैं। हम गायत्री माँ के बेटे तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं। जाग उठो वीर सपूतो तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं। जागो रे 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 जागो रे। हम सुधरेंगे युग सुधरेगा यही बताने आए हैं।
हम यही बताने आए हैं।
हम बदलेंगे युग बदलेगा यह समझाने आए हैं।
हम यह समझाने आए हैं।
ऊंच नीच और जाति पाति का भेद मिटाने आए हैं। हम भेद मिटाने आए हैं। हम गायत्री माँ के बेटे तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं। जाग उठो वीर सपूतो तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं। जागो रे 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 जागो रे। गायत्री के महामंत्र की महिमा गाने आए हैं।
हम महिमा गाने आए हैं।
हर मानव में सद्बुद्धि का दीप जलाने आए हैं।
हम दीप जलाने आए हैं।
देव संस्कृति निर्मित करने नई प्रेरणा लाए हैं। हम नई प्रेरणा लाए हैं। हम गायत्री माँ के बेटे तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं। जाग उठो वीर सपूतो तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं। जागो रे 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 जागो रे। युग निर्माण योजना का संदेश सुनाने आए हैं।
संदेश सुनाने आए हैं।
अनाचार का अंत करेंगे कलह मिटाने आए हैं।
हम कलह मिटाने आए हैं।
कुरीतियों और पाखंडों से मुक्ति दिलाने आए हैं। हम मुक्ति दिलाने आए हैं। हम गायत्री माँ के बेटे तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं। जाग उठो वीर सपूतो तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं। जागो रे 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 जागो रे। नया उजाला नई रोशनी जग हित लेकर आए हैं
हम जग हित लेकर आए हैं
अंधकार मिट जाए वह अभियान चलाने आए हैं
अभियान चलाने आए हैं
ज्ञान यज्ञ की लाल मशाल तुम्हें थमाने आए हैं हम तुम्हें थमाने आए हैं हम गायत्री माँ के बेटे तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं जाग उठो ओ वीर सपूतों तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं हम तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं हम तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं हम गायत्री माँ के बेटे तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं जाग उठो ओ वीर सपूतों तुम्हें जगाने आए हैं जागो रे 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 जागो रे
Good job, Atlantic City! Now we have the Bala Sanskar Shala students from New Jersey's Gayatri Chetna Center. They're performing a small skit from the book they are currently reading in the school year. This book is called Companions in Solitude. It is an autobiography of the journey and life lessons of Gurudev Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya in the magnificent Himalayas. And we have Bomik Thakur announcing the performers.
The students performing the skits are Krusha Vaidya, Pinky Patel, Dharti Patel, Dev Patel, Dhruv Mehta, Kush Patel, Yash Patel, Sunny Patel, Harsh Patel, Sanam Sutar, Ishan Modi, Mit Patel, Gauri Patel, and Riya Patel.
In 1958, Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya, our Gurudev, was called to the Himalayas by his guru on a one-year sadhana. During this one-year journey, Gurudev wrote a great book to account all the experiences he had in the Himalayas. Gurudev had this innate ability to understand and relate to the wonderful nature and, most importantly, learn from it. In today's world, a lot of us go to the Himalayas on a pilgrimage and take a dip in the holy Ganga. But how many of us can experience what Gurudev experienced? Gurudev never considered that Himalayas has a big heap of rock and stone covered with snow. Rather, Gurudev expected it as the home of the gods with the ability to change an ordinary human being into a divine person. With Ma Saraswati's blessings, Gurudev was effortlessly able to express the inexpressible in a language of simplicity and clarity. His autobiography, The Companions in Solitude, is a book of his oneness with nature. Today, the Bal Sanskar kids of NJ are performing a drama depicting how Gurudev observed nature and related it to the human life and shared with us how we can learn from it. Let's start this Himalayan journey.
On Gurudev's journey to the Himalayas, he and his fellow travelers were walking through the forest when they were attacked by a swarm of yellow flies, which were known as wasps.
Why did these flies attack us? Did they benefit from doing so? What did they intend to gain by hurting us?
A few minutes have gone by.
By attacking us? Those flies may have thought we were intruding their territory and stung us to teach us a lesson. If that is the case, the flies are at fault, for the forest is not theirs. God has created this forest, not them. By attacking us that way, they gain nothing. However, we as humans act in a similar way.
We are nothing like the yellow flies.
Gurudev, explain to us how we are similar to these yellow flies.
We are indeed like them because We are as greedy and always want more than we have. We are never satisfied. Look at those two kids fighting for a toy when they each already have one.
Through this story, we can learn that being greedy not only hurts our victims, but hurts us as well, because we gain enemies that we don't need. Next time you think about saying, "That's mine," think about this story and decide if you really want to say that.
Gurudev continues on his journey and sees a cold mountain pouring out hot streams of water. Gurudev begins to think about what he sees.
How can streams of hot water exist in such elevation? How can a mountain produce such warm, soothing water? Maybe this mountain is angry, so it is releasing its anger in such a way that it is beneficial to both the mountain and the bypasser. The mountain is sharing its warmth in this cold weather when it could be selfish and keep all the warmth for itself.
Through this story, Gurudev wanted humans to be more like this mountain, and that we should be self-sacrificing, and we should know how to deal with our anger in a way that proves beneficial to others. Look there for an example of how Gurudev's teachings relate to today's youngsters. The school science fair was over. The kids that won first place were not speaking with one another. Before the science fair, these two kids were best friends.
Why are you two kids not talking to each other? You won first place. Tell me what's wrong, and maybe I can resolve your problem.
Well, our science fair project won first place, but he's mad that all are praising me. How is that my fault? It is your fault because you told the teachers, judges, and parents that you did it all by yourself.
Does it really matter who gets the credit as long as you two won first place? Think about it.
What do you mean?
I mean that your name is on the project as well. And when the judges were asking you questions about the project, you were able to answer some of the questions that he wasn't able to answer. The judges can tell that you both worked on it equally. So, does it really matter that he's getting praised? After all, God knows the work each of you have put into it.
I guess not. I don't really need praise, as my work speaks for itself. You're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have told the judges and teachers that I did all the work by myself. In reality, I'm making myself look selfish and fought with my best friend for a few praise. It's okay. I'm glad that you realized what you did was wrong. Let's go out for pizza and celebrate our first place victory. That sounds like a good idea. Why don't you join us as well? This way, we can thank you for your help. Otherwise, we would still be fighting. I agree. You should come with us.
You two should go and enjoy the pizza. All I did was follow what my Gurudev taught me about being self-sacrificing.
This is exactly what Gurudev envisioned of how his teachings would relate to today's kids. The moral of Gurudev's experience was that everyone has shortcomings, such as anger, and letting it out is necessary, but it is equally important to express it in a fashion that benefits rather than harms others around them. Like these kids, everyone should express their shortcomings in creative ways that are beneficial to those affected by it.
Gurudev continues his journey through the Himalayas and reaches a small village where he is joined by a group of pilgrims heading to Gangotri. The luggage of the group of pilgrims was carried by a porter, who was a villager, and he was hard to understand when he spoke. Along the way, the porter pointed to something at the top of a hill.
Look there. Look. Alu, alu. I do not know what he's saying, but I think he's saying balu, balu.
It is very hard to see, but there are black animals moving in the area indicated by the porter.
The black bears are coming closer and closer. The size is getting bigger and bigger. They're going to eat us all.
The balu is big and coming towards us. Ah!
The idea was to push the nailed end into the bear's mouth in the event of an attack. The pilgrims promised to stay with each other, even if the black bears attacked them. However, the fog begins to fade, and they saw black cows grazing. Seeing us all frightened, the porter inquires of the reason.
God saved us from the balu you had shown us. Balu? What balu? I never said balu. I said alu because in this village, alu, which is potato, is famous for its enormous size. Due to the fog, the black animals you saw are the black cows that graze here all day.
When light of true knowledge is realized, then the fog of ignorance fades away and mental weaknesses diminish. Hence we come to realize that God's creation is flawless and that all is good, and what we see is a mere reflection of our imagination, just like the travelers imagined a frightful balu out of a nourishing alu.
While continuing on their journey, Gurudev and the pilgrims made fun of the fellow pilgrim who mistakenly heard balu for alu. Fear was transformed into humor. As they laughed, Gurudev noticed the breathtaking view of the magnificent mountain and the crystal clear waterfall. Looking upwards towards the mountaintop, it seemed as if the mountain peak was performing worship of Lord Shiva by pouring water over it. Gurudev felt the blessing of Lord Shiva in the form of nature.
If only today's generation would be able to see this kind of beauty. Beauty is the thirst of the soul. What do you mean by that, Gurudev? Real beauty is found in nature and can only be appreciated when seen in reality. People decorate their homes with pictures of forests and mountains and pretend to enjoy their beauty. We should look at the immense beauty spread all over nature's lap. Let's take a moment to enjoy the magnificent beauty of the Himalayas. Imagine. Most kids these days are always playing games or watching TV. None of them actually venture outside to experience the wonderful nature.
Everyone thought about what Gurudev had said. They were stunned by the reality of it. Gurudev continues to feel the presence of Lord Shiva.
Today's scene is really nature's wonder at its best. But in my imagination, I still get a glimpse of seeing Lord Shiva right before me in reality. If only I could describe part of the joy for those who are not here.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah.
In this story, Gurudev is portraying that people should appreciate nature's beauty. Nature is another way of seeing God apart from the statues and photos. Instead of always staying indoors, everyone should go outside on walks and embrace the beauty, as one will never know when God will grace them with his presence like he did to Gurudev. Along the journey from Uttarkashi to Gangotri, Gurudev was facing difficulties, and the path was hazardous. And to top it all, the milestones, which were the traveler's guide, were missing. Gurudev was feeling all the more distress.
Gurudev, isn't this journey getting very difficult as there are no milestones to guide us?
Yes, my son. Do you realize how insignificant a milestone is because its cost and ability is very simple, but it stands in one spot and does its duty no matter what? Since the milestone does its duty, we get relief knowing how much distance we have left to our destination.
Yes, Gurudev. I see how the milestone may look insignificant, but is very significant.
That's right. When a small stone like this can show us a path, then why can't we do the same? Why should we let our education, ability, and intelligence stop us from serving those among us that are less fortunate?
I can do that, Gurudev. I may not have the higher education as of now, but I have the ability to speak the truth and provide services to those in need. I can also spend a few hours each Sunday to volunteer at Dark.
Most of us are capable of serving humanity even better than a milestone, but the opportunity to prove our ability will come only if we come forward with self-confidence and dedication. With that, you can achieve anything.
This is not the conclusion, but only the beginning of Gurudev's journey. And if you want to find out more about his journeys, please go to our bookstore and pick up your own copy of Companions in Solitude. Give it up for New Jersey! Next, we'll have the youth of Chicago from the Bala Sanskar Shala in Chicago do a short documentary on Gurudev's life.
Jai Gurudev. I am Birwa Trivedi.
I'm Poojan Patel.
And my name is Durva Trivedi. We represent the youth of Gayatri in Chicago, And we have been with Gayatri Parivar for almost our entire lives. But this year was special. This year, we were able to observe the festivities of Gurudev's Janma Shatabdi Mahotsav. And the three of us really wanted to learn more about his life and his legacy. Through our fellow Parijans and respected elders, we were able to see a glimpse of the great man that he was and is, and how much he is loved and remembered by all of his disciples. We sometimes feel saddened that we will never be able to meet Gurudev in person, but we know that he is our Guru and we love him and we want to work for his mission. In an effort to become closer to our beloved Gurudev, we began asking questions to our parents and other elders in the mandir, questions that we had, things we wanted to know. We asked, do you believe in Gurudev and why? We asked, how has Gurudev affected your life? And the answers we got inspired us so much, it made us feel like we did know Gurudev. We could be a little bit closer to our Guru. And we got so much out of that we interviewed them more formally, and we videotaped responses from Parijans in Chicago to see how they knew Gurudev. And we really hope that if you see this video, you, especially the youth, can get as much out of it as we did, because we really feel like hearing this, we can be closer to Gurudev. So I just hope that you guys appreciate, these answers as much as we did.
And really quickly, I'd just like to say a special thank you to the Chicago Parivar members who agreed to share their stories about Gurudev with us. Krupa Patel, Parth Mangrola, Herschel Patel, Rishi Sharma, Shiv Trivedi, Sheila-ben Patel, Sandhya-ben Patel, Mita-ben Desai, Narendra-bhai Desai, Vanna-ben Mangrola, Harendra-bhai Mangrola, Viral-bhai Trivedi, Maheshji, and Kiran-ben Tiwari. So we hope you enjoy this video.
Guru is someone who inspires you, someone who teaches you, someone... Those two, inspires you and teaches you are kind of the big ones, because you need someone to guide you on the right path. So I think that's what Guru is for me.
Guru is who teaches you. Who take in this, he is our spiritual Guru, who helps us get closer to Bhagwan or God, who inspire us to the righteous path, or who gives us a knowledge about the life.
You have to physically meet a person for them to have an influence on your life. A guru has an influence on your life. That's what he does. He teaches you and he guides you, and he doesn't need to do that by being a foot away from you. He can do that from miles away. He can do it from years away, and that's what Gurudev is for us. He's a distance and a time that can't be measured with conventional numbers. He's that far away from us, but he can still touch our lives, and he does it through his literature, through the other Parijans that have met him, that were influenced by him, and he's our Guru in that regard. Guru is not a physical thing.
Yeah, it's like what appeals to most people here is that he's led by example, and the things he's written about.
We're going to take a 2-second break just so everyone can get back into their seats. Please bear with us. But the next performance is going to be from North Carolina, from the Bala Sanskar Shala of North Carolina. And to announce the presenters would be Daksha-ben. Thank you. Can everybody please quiet down? Students and adults, please quiet down. Okay, so we're going to start it up once again. Datta Ben from North Carolina. Give him a big round of applause, please.
Jai Gayatri Ma, Jai Gurudev, Jai Vandaniya Mataji. My name is Daksha Patel, and I'm a youth coordinator with Gayatri Parivar Charlotte. Gayatri Parivar Charlotte would like to share with you some activities that our youth have been participating in the past few years. Here with me on the stage are some of our top youth participants. Okay, this is Pooja Panchal, and we also have Vivek Patel. Gurudev's aim is for all of us to find innovative and creative ways to spread his thoughts and spiritual teachings to everyone, irrespective of caste, creed, or religion. The Gayatri Parivar Youth of Charlotte has put into practice the teachings of our beloved Gurudev to work for the social welfare of each and every human being. How have we done this? We have done this by donating our time, money, and services to these three worthwhile and wonderful activities: the toy drive, the monthly donation workshop, the Second Harvest food drive. The toy drive, this will be our third year. Children as young as 2 years of age have participated in this activity. Basically what we did is collected 25 cents from each child every Sunday, and the account for the child that participate was maintained. The donations given by the child is added up at the end of November and given back to the child so that he or she can shop for toys that he or she wants to donate to another needy child in the community. And what I'm gonna let Vivek and Pooja do is present to you some pictures and talk about their experience in participating in the toy drive.
Jai Gurudev. For the past 3 years, the youth have been learning responsibility, selflessness, and just the lesson of giving through these toy drives. Not only do they have to be on time, be there every Sunday and give what they need to give and keep track of the money. They learn a lot of selflessness through this. And at the end, when they go out, collect the money, and they buy toys for other kids, it takes a lot of, determination to go out there and say, here, I want to buy this toy for someone else that really needs it a lot more than we do. And that is actually the ultimate act of selflessness, because each child who participates learns to give, and they fulfill someone else's wish, whether it be something very small to just a smile.
The next activity is the monthly donation workshop. This will be our 4th year doing this activity. Last spring, we held a yard sale to fund the monthly donation workshop. We raised about $480. The money raised by the yard sale and any other donations that were received for the monthly donation workshop were added to the fund so that the workshop can continue for more years to come. The money is used by the GPC youth to shop and buy $25 worth of items every month for a specific community organization based on the needs or wish list of that organization. And I'm going to have Pooja talk to you a little bit about that. And we are also having pictures of the activities, so.
All right, for the monthly donations, this was more geared towards the older youth because it dealt with a lot more harsh in-life situations. We helped out with places like the House of Mercy, Catherine's House, the Women's Shelter of Gastonia, Crisis Pregnancy Center, and during helping these organizations, the kids showed compassion, maturity, and understanding towards those who needed a hand, and they understood how to give a hand in need. The project also creates a more cooperative group in the youth because we chose the places and the items to donate. So it was all determined by the youth. And also, on the other hand, the younger youth also participated when they donated items to the animal shelters and less fortunate schools in the county. They came shopping, picking out different things for other children who would like, and buy treats for the animals, and just take care of the animals that still needed to be adopted. All in all, not only do they donate to the less fortunate, but we spread our name through the community while spreading Gurudev's message with the letters we give out to every organization.
And our third activity, the Second Harvest Food Drive, this will be our 5th year. The food drive consists of youth volunteers dedicating their time and energy in going door to door requesting food, check donations for the Second Harvest Food Bank of the Metrolinas. The food drive has been very successful every year and has resulted in donations of barrels and barrels of food for those in need. By giving their time every year and helping with this activity, the youth have helped feed a lot of hungry people. In 2010 alone, the youth collected 11 barrels of food and $786 to donate to the Second Harvest Food of Metrolina. The youth put out about 1,000 to 2,000 flyers, 1,000 to 2,000 flyers to the houses. The flyers and the letters contain our Gayatri Mantra, the AWGP website, as well as Gurudev's thoughts and teachings. All of these activities were inspired by Gurudev and initiated by one of our youth leaders, Vanita Panchal, and I'll have Pooja Panchal now come and talk to you a little bit about the monthly donation workshop, which she has helped lead in past 2 years.
Jai Gurudev. When we do Second Harvest, we start at 8 a.m. for 3 weekends straight, and it's a huge deal for the youth because it's really early in the morning. Not only do we wake up in the morning, we start knocking on doors and we have to start collecting food. And as we knock on every door and ask for food or monetary donations, we get rejected, doors get slammed in our faces, and people just don't want to give. Through the past 4 years, the youth have learned that it doesn't matter if a few people are stingy. In the end, the outcome is up to Gurudev. Also, once the drive is over and the barrels are filled, any feelings of rejection disappear as we see the outcome of our hard work. During the past 4 food drives, the youth has collected over 3,000 pounds of food for the many people who go hungry every day. This year, our food drive is going to take place on October 8th, 15th, and 22nd, and we hope to have another successful year in collections. With this project, not only do we help feed hundreds of families, we spread Gurudev's message with the 2,000 flyers we put in mailboxes throughout 10 neighborhoods. With the help of Second Harvest Food Bank of Metrolina, the food drive is the youth's favorite project because we get to witness the true miracle of giving to those who need it most.
Our basic aim in presenting this to you is to give ideas of how to spread Gurudev's thoughts while developing our youth and reforming society. What we're also going to do is we've got examples of the letters that we put out to the houses, and we have a trifold that we'll be displaying with the other displays. We also have a scrapbook that has pictures and different things that our youth have put together. So if you'll take a moment and look at that, we'll have it displayed with the other trifolds. Thank you.
Another big round of applause for North Carolina. Now for our last and final performance, we're going to have a song from BSS of Boston. Give a big round of applause for Smita Ben and the youth of Boston.
Jai Gurudev. Bar Sanskar Shala from Boston is going to sing a song, Manasa Satatam, on the occasion of the birth century of Vedmurti, Taponista Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya. Our Gayatri Parivar Parijan wrote the song, which is about being a good human and performing our duty towards humanity, spreading our thoughts for the world peace and bringing a change in ourselves, and the world will change on its own. So please welcome Dharini, Mandar, Vyom and Sukruti.
Jai Gurudev. Manasa satatam. Manasa satatam smaraniyam. Vachasa satatam vadaniyam. Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Manasa satatam smaraniyam. Vachasa satatam vadaniyam. Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Lokabhavane ramaniyam. Nachasukha shayane shayaniyam. Aharnisham jagaraniyam. Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Najata dukkham gananiyam. Najashuja shokyam mananiyam. Kaya kshetre tvaraniyam. Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Lokahitam Lokahitam Vipatti vipine brahmaniyam. Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Ganaranye ganandakare bandhu janaye sita gahvare tatra maya sancharaniyam. Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Manasa satatam smaraniyam. Vachasa satatam vadaniyam. Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Lokahitam mama karaniyam.
Please give a big round of applause for all the performances that happened today. Come on now. That's it? That's all you got for them? It's a lot better. Now with our closing ceremonies, we have Nuprali Ben.
We are very grateful to all of you for coming to see this performance. And we're especially grateful for those of you who actually stayed here. We know it's really hot. We know the performance was kind of long, but we really wanted to consider everyone's feelings, everyone's hard effort. So we really, really appreciate those that actually stayed here and those that went and came back. A special thanks to all the parents, the students, the teachers, and the volunteers from all the departments of our Gayatri Chetna Center. Special thank you goes to our kids' parents, like Bela Ben and Mayang Pai, who handmade the majority of our props, and Kalpesh Pai for making arrangements for the costumes. We would like to thank the various Bal Sanskar Shala centers of the U.S. for coming here and performing today. I have to thank all the Bal Sanskar volunteers of GCC, Piscataway, namely Gayatri Patel, who dedicated a lot of time to put this whole show together. Priya Patel, who helped with choreography. Heta Shukla, who also helped with choreography. Bomik Tucker, Alak Patel, and Bharat Desai, who helped with drama, stage setup, or audio visuals. Also, we want to thank this stage decoration team who made this really nice stage for us, and also our audio team who's sitting to the right who helped us with our show. Finally, I'd like to thank the trustees of Gayatri Chetna Center for supporting this event and making it happen. For those whose name I could not mention today, I hope that they will forgive me, but rest assured, we truly appreciate and require all the help we can get, big or small, when planning any Bal Sanskar Shala activity. Once again, thank you and Jai Gurudev.
બોલીએ ગાયત્રી માતાની, પરમ પૂજ્ય ગુરુદેવની, વંદનીય માતાજીની. થોડીક જ ક્ષણોની અંદર આપણે ભગવાનની આરતી કરીશું અને ત્યાર પછી પ્રવચન અને મહાપ્રસાદની વ્યવસ્થા છે. તો આપ સૌ શાંતિથી આ જે વિરામ મળ્યો છે એની અંદર રિફ્રેશ થઈ જજો. પરમ પૂજ્ય શ્રદ્ધેય ડૉક્ટર સાહેબ એક વેદાંત સમિતિની કોન્ફરન્સનું ઇનાગ્યુરેશન કરવા માટે ગયા છે. થોડીક જ ક્ષણોની અંદર તેઓ અહીંયા પરત પધારશે. તો આપ સૌ શાંતિથી થોડીક સૂચનાઓ સાંભળી લેજો. આવતીકાલે સાંજે આ જ સભા મંડપની અંદર દીપયજ્ઞ સંપન્ન થશે. પરમ પૂજ્ય શ્રદ્ધેય ડૉક્ટર સાહેબના સાનિધ્યમાં શાંતિકુંજથી આવેલા સંતોના ગીત સંગીતના આલાપની અંદર આ યજ્ઞ સંપન્ન થશે. તો યજ્ઞમાં જે ભાઈ બહેનોને બેસવાની ઈચ્છા હોય કે કોઈ પણ પૂજનમાં ભાગ લેવાની ઈચ્છા હોય તો મહેરબાની કરીને તમારું નામ સુભાષભાઈ પટેલ પાસે નોંધાવી દેજો. 18 मीमांसा में कर्मकांड एक श्रेष्ठ मीमांसा है और षोडशोपचार पूजा